morning. Recently, I was at an award ceremony and got to hear Gene Banks speak. For anyone who doesn't know, Gene Banks was the star of the famous West Philadelphia high school basketball team in 1977, known as the West Philly Speedboys. He went on to play at Duke, where he led their program to an NCAA tournament berth. Listening to him speak, I was immediately inspired. He talked about how every time he stepped onto the court, he had one thing in mind: competing. There was nobody who was going to outwork him, and this was his key to success. He told us how after leading his team to the NCAA tournament his freshman year, he walked around like a big shot. Gene failed exams and essays, putting little effort into them. It wasn't until he was called into the dean's office and told that he was being kicked out that it hit him. He begged for a second chance, and when given one, realized that schoolwork was just like sports. To succeed at school, or anything in general, you had to work your hardest. If you didn't understand material in a class, you had to practice it until you got it right. Gene ended up excelling and graduating 20th in his class at Duke. He begged the audience to take one thing away from his story: that everything you do to your full potential. After hearing this, I began trying to make the connection to my life. I thought about how I grew up always competing against my sister in the most cutthroat game known to man, one-on-one basketball. Every game turned into a bloodbath, screams, punches, and scratches, followed by my mom opening the door, giving us the scariest mom look, and gritting her teeth to say, "Get inside." We would be out the next day though, without fail, bandages over cuts, ice on black eyes, ready to once again battle out for the win. My competitiveness goes far beyond than just with my sister. I've always seen most things as a competition. Who can walk to the science building fastest, finish a cheesesteak from D'Alessandro's first, or even do the most push-ups at Maddie Sen's house post-winter ball junior year, a personal favorite of mine where, believe it or not, I beat Will Logue. I saw everything as a chance to compete, and despite the circumstances, something I had to win. While listening to Gene Banks speak, the realization I had was that I've been competitive in all the silly areas of my life, ones that made no difference whatsoever. And although I don't regret it, I've decided that moving forward, I'm going to be focusing my energy into working my hardest on the important things. I realized that putting my full potential into a paper could be the difference between an A or a B, while putting my full potential into eating a cheesesteak will only leave me with a full belly. So I believe in being competitive and working your hardest. But even more than that, I believe that you should be competitive where it counts. Like Gene said, the outcome of anything you do is based on how much you put into it. Don't wait until you're in the dean's office to decide you're going to start working hard, because you just might not get that second chance. Thanks.